right, back at it again, Fly Nation TV, man, with the one and only Teiga. You know, you got the Teiga sleeveless hoodie, you know, representing. How you been, man?
I'm good, I'm good.
You know, I like to always start off the interviews about the time if we met or if I heard of you. I remember meeting you at Bum's Local one day when Street Fighter 5 just came out, and you was playing Ryu at the time. Was it Ryu?
Yeah.
Okay, you was playing Ryu at the time, and you was like really strong. I was like, yo, this guy is good. I see great things, you know. Let's say 5 years later, you out here getting top 3, placing consistently. You've been streaming more consistently. You're getting a lot of viewers. So let's talk about your growth. What even got you into the FGC?
Playing Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo with my older brother. That kind of got me into it, and then from Killer Instinct, I got into Street Fighter 2, and I don't know how, because I had like this weird phase where I was playing like shooters like Quake 2 growing up, but as an adult, not as an adult, as like an adolescent, my cousins and godbrothers used to play fighting games, so we used to play like 30th anniversary edition on PS2, and then from there I just kept playing Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter. I think it was like this weird like satisfaction of wanting to beat my older brother who got me into it originally, so that's how I ended up in the FGC.
I mean, that's always a good motivation when there's somebody there that puts you on, that obviously you would look up to, and there's always a goal of ours to like try to beat that person, just to show that you're improving somewhere, right?
Yep.
So when did you start playing competitively? I know you were playing casually with your family and stuff, but when was it that I want to be a competitive player? Like I want to be in tournaments. Like let's talk about that.
All right, so I got into competitive gaming, I believe 2012. Well, you could say I did it twice, because I first started it, like, what got me into the idea of competitive gaming is Street Fighter leaderboards. I wanted to be the top one with my character, and then after I did that, my friends were like, so if you can reach #1 on ranked, why don't you go actually play in tournaments? And I'm just like, that might be onto something. And I went to next level. I went 0-1, because I didn't know tournaments were like double limb back then. And that's what Spabrog, that's when I first met Spabrog, and I was gonna lose to Glitch eventually, because that was my losers round 2, my losers opponent. And after that, I kind of focused on school for a bit, and I didn't get back into the FGC until 2014, where my school had a college tournament, and Coach Steve and Lionheart showed up. I don't know why they were there. I always get like.
Which campus was this?
Brooklyn College.
Okay. Didn't Steve go to Brooklyn College?
Yeah, he eventually came to Brooklyn College. Yeah.
But at the time he wasn't.
He was in the Bronx.
Okay.
So Lionheart and Coach Steve came all the way from the Bronx to run my run my school's pockets, and I'm just like, the fuck. And then I wanted my run back. The next year they did it, but they didn't come back. And hilariously, at this time, KPB was now invading my school's tournament, and I'm just like, what are you doing here? Y'all don't even look like y'all old enough. Like y'all look like y'all too old. Y'all got family. Y'all got kids to feed. And then from there, it was just like, all right. I won Marvel 3 as a Zero May Cry player, and then I was just like, all right. I like the adrenaline rush I get from competing, so I'm gonna keep competing occasionally. So
okay, so what was like the first tournament you placed well enough to be in the money? Let's talk about that. Let's fast forward. Like, how long did it take you to start placing well? I'm not talking about like your school local. I'm talking about like more like on a competitive standpoint. I say next level, for example, right?
All right. So in next level, I didn't get in the money. So if we're taking next level, I didn't get into the money till next level 100.
Damn.
Because I didn't actually like.
Well, you didn't go to everyone, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't go to NLBC frequently because from 2012 to 2017 I was in college.
Yeah.
And school is expensive, so was focused on my education, graduating. But on a whim, because everyone was like hyping up the 100th next level, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show up. And I got in the money because it was a top 8 payout in which I lost to Master Rank. Gen versus Rose, and I got 7th that tournament.
Was that still Street Fighter 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was Street Fighter 4. All right, cool, man. So I mean, like you had a very long journey. You know, you did take some time off to focus on education, of course, very important. And then when you came back, like, what was the first step? Like, what would you need to do to get to the next level in your mind? Like, what is it that you had to do?
So for me, it was more of like a mental barrier, I think, because for me, I felt like there was a point in time where I was just like, I don't know if I still want to keep doing this, because I was just like, I feel like I'm good enough, but I never actually produce any results. Like I've gotten top 6, so in Street Fighter 4, I've only gotten top 32 once, and never anything past that. In Street Fighter 5, I've gotten like top 16, but top 32, but I've never broke past 16. And I was like, I won the top 8, and then Winter Brawl happened. I think it was Winter Brawl, I want to say 10? Yeah. Winter Brawl 10?
Probably one of those, yeah. What year was that? Do you remember?
It was the year that Akuma and Colleen were still bullshit. So I think it was
probably one of those years, yeah.
Season 2.
Probably season 2, yeah.
Yeah, season 2. So like Colleen still had like her cross up dash that.
Okay, yeah.
Bullshit. So I went to Winter Brawl. I went to Winter Brawl, and I was just like, all right. If I don't do as well as I want to, or if I don't do as well as I think I should, I might be calling it quits on the FGC.
Okay.
Or at least competing for a bit to like readdress my mindset.
Okay.
Hilariously, I got 3rd that tournament.
Hey man, you know, as I said, man, everybody has their own journey.
Yeah.
So like me, you know, my journey, they just whatever I lose, I try not to blame the other players. I can't play. Even though the salt gets there, I try not to blame the players as much. You know, that's how the game is made. That's how the game is made. So I always was like, you know what I need to do mentally to not get caught up in the same situations, you know. So that's how I'll get better. But let me ask you this: when you started, let's fast forward to Grand Blue, right? You've been heavily invested in that game for such a long time. Like from the start of the season, you were day one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were playing from day one.
The American version. Not
yeah. You were playing from day one. You know, that's when you really started to really become a name of yourself, because you've been getting very consistent at the biggest online tournaments that's out there. I had never seen you outside of top 8 since when I came. I came like May after. Yeah, I came in May last year, and ever since then I never seen you. And I never told anybody this. I never told you this before. This is gonna be the first time you hearing this. You inspired me to play because I know you as a Street Fighter player. And then when I see you win NLBC with Lancelot, I was like, yo, this guy can do it. That could motivate myself. Like, you know what? Maybe I should give it a try, because I see Street Fighter people beating a game that normally that's like ArcSys, and I'm thinking like, oh, you know, I leave that to the anime guys. But you came from outside of that community. You came in and you bodying people. And I'm like, yo, I gotta play. You know, it was definitely rough for me because I didn't know like who to start with. I didn't know where to start. I had no idea what's what. But you know, because of people like you know, helped me out, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm understanding the game more. And you guys always keep pushing me to play, so thank you guys. You know, you, Mike and Knight, Diaphone, you know, who else? That like kind of sleep on this side.
Najee.
Even K-Brad, Najee. K-Brad was playing it at one point. He bodied me with Barry and Cat. Yeah, like those guys, I'm like, yo, these guys are good. You know, and I just wanted to be just as good as you guys. So I'm not there yet, but soon. But so yeah, so now we're on the Grand Blue topic, right? You've been making a lot of noise calling people out. Let's call it out. Let's talk about what's his name, MBK Fighting Coach.
Okay.
Let's talk about him. I know you don't have like a personal issue with him, but what is the issue like that make you like kind of like call them out in certain situations? Like, let's talk about. Can you explain the lore about that situation?
All right, so I feel like it's kind of a matter of due diligence versus him. So like we're playing in online tournaments. We know that it's not like the ideal conditions to be doing so, but you still want to like try to make the best of the situation for it, right? So at first I had no problem with him, but then it came to light that he has only 6 Mbps upload, and we're just like, so you understand that like we're not playing on rollback. This is delay base, and instead of like trying to like do your fair parts, you're just gonna minimize it and be fine with it because it's the bare minimum that they'll accept. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And like, and then it's even worse because at first Florida wasn't accepted to do NLBC, and then we accept you, and you're still like just saying I'm gonna just do what's best for me, not what's best for the community, just because it's gonna save money in my pocket. I'm just like, that's.
I mean, it could be that, but he's a young kid too, so we don't know. Like, we wouldn't know his situation on a personal level. So
like, I'm trying to like. At first, I was like, I didn't care because I'm like, okay, I assumed he was already doing like when I first started playing him, I'm just like, all right, cool, he's another player, and it's just like, all right, cool. He probably has like, I never actually asked for what his upload was, what his download was, but then Gandito mentioned it, and then when he said 6 Mbps, I'm like, tell me you meant to say 60. I'm like, there's no way you would be doing this, like, there's no way you'd be doing this like in your right mind while knowing that you are just doing the bare minimum. And he's like, nah, it's 6. I'm like, bruh. And I think it like hits me harder because I work IT, so I understand like how much of a like how fucked up it is in like the long scheme of things. But I'm just like, you know what? I can't stress it. If the connection gets too bad, I already told him like I'm gonna say straight up, I'm gonna just DQ. Like I'm not putting myself through the stress, regardless if it's an online tournament, just for you to be money hungry.
So you know what my next question gonna be. So if you have the opportunity to like, if let's say both of y'all meet in the same setting, right, would you offer him a money match?
I'll have no problem paying him for money.
How much you think you will pay him for?
I always leave it up to them because I'm not trying to hear no shit about, oh, that's too much. Like, if you want to do first attempt for 100, first attempt for 200,
Okay, so if you do play him in the first attempt money match, right, what do you think the score would be? You can be honest, man. Like I said, man.
Probably 10-6 my favor. 10-6, 10-7.
That sounds fair. 10-6. Okay, cool. So hopefully we can set that up. So I mean, the pandemic's still on, but yeah, I definitely would like to see you and MBK play. I think both of you guys are great players. Honestly, I mean, all bullshit aside, I think he's great, and I think you're also great too. So I think it'll be a classic. But if you think 10-6, I think that's a fair. I mean, it's fair for your part. I'm sure he'll think otherwise, but yeah, 10-6 sounds fine. Okay, so let's talk about today. Now, this weekend, Summit Jam, you got second in Grand Blue.
Yep.
So let's talk about your top 8 run. Actually, let's talk about your entire run. Like, who you had in pools that you might have at least a threat like damn, this guy might beat me.
So there was only one threat, but I didn't know there were a threat until after I played. And this is hilarious because I posted this on Twitter. So first round match was, I didn't really care. The second round match was a Zoe player. And if you're in the Grand Blue community, this is gonna sound hilarious. So I'm playing this Zoe. They signed up as the name as Huh. Like just H-U-H with a question mark. Huh. And I'm just like, alright, cool. And I see them playing Zoe. I'm like, oh, they're playing Zoe. That means I gotta play Percival because I'm gonna just counter pick because that's my thing in this game. And then they hit me with the fuzzy overhead setup twice, and I'm just like,
oh, that's probably Apple.
Huh. I'm like,
yeah, that has to be Apple. Apple's the only one I know that does that.
And I'm just like, wait. And I'm just like, I'm just looking at this shit like, okay, your naming is quite adequate because
who does that? Like, who do you know that does that?
I'm like, they're fuzzy mashing when they're fuzzy mashing when I expect them to. They're fuzzy jumping when I expect them to, and they hit me with the fuzzy overhead. I'm like, huh. And I was just like, you know what? After this, I'm like, what's your online tag? It's like Apple. I'm like, everything makes sense now.
Okay.
Now I see why. Now I see why like this shit was about to be rough. And then winners finals of pools, I had to fight Nick Poole. They played Cagliostro. Beat him 2-0.
Okay.
Winners top 8, I had Zombu first match. Lost 3-0. I know nothing about CAG. Losers semis, I had to fight Buskar lose.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. That was Buskar's
Son, that matchup was sweaty as hell.
He's a tough one, man.
Yeah,
it's tough to beat. Very tough to beat.
It's actually like fun for me to fight him now because I've seen him develop as a player.
Yeah.
So there was a point where like I could beat him with Cerise now, and now I'm here sweating with like now beforehand I would always just pick Lance against him. Like I would never deliberately counterpick him. But now we've reached the step. Now we've reached the stage. Like he's a threat to the point where now I have to counterpick him. Otherwise I'm like, I might be risking an L here. Like so we played like a first attempt with Lance, a first attempt with Percival. He won the Lance set 8-10. I won the Lance set 10-9. But after a while, after I learned like how bad. Let me not make it seem like it's 7-3. Percival, Sloane definitely feels like 6-4. But like at one point I was just like 9-6, and I'm just here having a fun ass time because this matchup is just like completely humorous.
Yeah, it's always fun playing him. Like I never like even if I lose, I don't even feel bad. I just have fun playing him. Yeah. So you beat him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, it was NJN again.
Who's NJN again?
Nick Cool. He's a Cagliostro from Midwest.
Oh, okay.
So I had to fight him back in losers. Beat him 2-1. Then I had to fight Max Sama.
Yeah, Mac had a really, really crazy run, man. All the decisions he was making, it was just working. Like, wow, this guy is.
And I'm not going bullshit. The moment I beat Searchlight, I'm like, I got second already. Like
you felt that way?
Yeah, I'm like if I beat Searchlight, I'm guaranteed second. Because I was confident against Nick because I already beat him the first time and I knew his
yeah, that's obvious. And then Mac, that matchup is you've been playing that matchup.
I actually think I'm just Max's demon at this point.
Yeah.
Because Max likes to play like an asshole, but he doesn't like when his opponent also plays like an asshole. And I don't think he understands like because the fact that we have easy mode like inputs that like I don't have to risk certain things like DPing through his strings, especially when I'm reacting to it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, so I beat him 3-1, and then I lost to Zom again in grand finals 3-0.
I mean, I think it's just lack of experience.
Yeah.
It must be because there was probably situations that you probably never seen before.
I have no idea how that
happened. Yeah, but I'm sure you'll study it. When you go home, you'll study it, obviously, But shout out to Zambu, man. He's been killing it. He's been holding it down for the PC community too. So, I mean, congratulations to him. I was trying to run into him, but I don't know where he is.
I was actually looking for him because we have to take a group photo.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever he's at, I mean, definitely want to have a talk with him. But, all right, man. So let's talk about other games. You've been playing Strive. You got top 16.
Yeah.
Out of how many people? Like 90, 100 people?
I think it was like 300.
300 people?
Yeah. It was
wow, dude.
I think it was like 16 pools, so it's possible to 300.
Wow, dude. Shit, man. But you still play Kai, right?
Yeah. I'm about to learn Chip though, so.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, nah, he ain't gonna play Kai for like he's not gonna solely play Kai for a while.
Yeah.
Chip is good.
I'm doing Lanceable and Percival in this game too.
Yeah. So I think. Do you think like having different characters is the wave now? You think?
I just like having.
It creates insurance.
I just like having the flexibility to counterpick.
Okay.
But when I say counterpick, I don't mean counterpick like I'm picking a matchup that's deliberately bad for you. I feel like counterpicking for me is more like a matchup that I feel more comfortable in.
Makes sense.
So like, there are certain matchups like, what's a good one? Oh, so like Zoe, like I shouldn't like Lance and Percival both do equally fine, but like just the way I want to play the matchup versus Zoe, I would always pick Percival. Yeah, or like even like in Street Fighter, I play Ryu and Kage, which are like two sides of the same coin. But there are certain matchups where I just feel comfortable where I need Kage.
Yeah. I hear you. All right. Well, so you had a good weekend. You placed very well in like most of the games. You played Street Fighter 2?
Yeah.
How did you do on that?
7th.
Top 8 in Street Fighter as well, man.
I don't know how they let that happen.
Hey, listen, man. At the end of the day, you had a very great performance this weekend.
Yeah.
What's next for you, like, as far as FGC stuff?
I might. So like currently I've been releasing like anti-character guides for Strive. I'm just having fun doing it because it's like helping me learn the character and helping me learn the games, and it's also helping me learn how much murder I let other characters get away with that I should be punishing or like knowing how to deal with.
Absolutely.
So usually what happens is like I'll put a poll on Twitter or YouTube and say, hey guys, which character do you want to see featured in the next anti-character guide? They'll vote on it. The moment they vote and I get like the final vote, I'll start going to lab. I'll start putting myself in certain positions, start seeing how I should be dealing with certain things, start looking at frame data for like a fuck ton of time. And then it's just like lab and research, and it's like, all right, now I gotta start writing shit down and putting it in a video, and then just like posting the video together, throwing it up on YouTube, and it's like.
All right, well, you know, well, speaking of, man, you have all your social information and your YouTube as well, man. Go ahead.
My YouTube channel's at Teiga93. Twitter, just Teiga. Twitch, Twitch is just Teiga. Twitter is at NY_Teiga because I can't get Teiga because fuck.
Alright, well, Teiga, you know, like I said, man, we know each other for a while, and like I said, I'm glad to see you progress and grow, and I'm definitely looking forward to see big things coming from you for the 2022 year, you know, when hopefully things becomes better. Any shout outs you want to give real quick?
Shout outs to everyone from my home country of Trinidad and Tobago. Shout outs to FGC there. Shout outs to everyone that's like cheering me on, keep like supporting me. It means a lot. Even if you just come through to the Twitch channel just to follow, just to say what's up, definitely means a lot. It's just like, it's helping me, like, the support just keeps me going, like, oh yeah, I like what I'm doing, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Alright, cool. Teiga, thank you so much for taking the time, man, and congratulations on today's success and this weekend's success, and like I said, looking to see more for you in the future.
Thank you.